here was a company, truly, none of us could ever envision it. A company that seemed really financially secure, its foundation firm, and the plans it had for this country and the opportunities that it was already offering Bahamians, and even stepping up as a responsible corporate citizen in the country. Really, to hear that it almost was built on air, it's quite shocking, really, Cassius.
Well, not necessarily built on air. I think what they were experiencing is mismanagement. Peggy would call it thieving, but
Yes.
it's mismanagement. And what they were doing is what governments do, particularly countries do all the time. They print money to be able to deal with bills to pay off this and so on. So what they were doing was creating their more tokens. Not using their actual assets, but creating tokens to be able to invest here and invest there.
So you're meaning, like, remember when in 2008 there was this housing bubble?
Yes.
That caused a recession because it just burst.
Spending what you don't have.
Yeah. So you're saying that is what that basically what that is.
Similar to that, they were spending what they did not have, and because you then created extra tokens, when they try to cash in on those tokens, then there's no value, and so they find themselves in a situation where the people, nothing could have sustained that. So just like when you print money right now, back in the 50s and the 60s, the US dollar was backed by gold.
Yes.
Those dollars are now not backed by anything, it's just backed by a promise. And so when you could print money like right now, someone said that 40% of all the money printed in the last 100 years is printed in the last 2 years. So you print money to prop up the economy, to prop up these things, but when you try to cash in on those things, there's no value. And so they find themselves in a situation where those extra coins that they printed had no value. It's not a scam per se, because you have the blockchain industry, you have the cryptocurrency, you have Ethereum, you have Bitcoins, and all these were having their different turbulence. But what happened was you had management spending more than they really had. And so you have investments in Miami, in the Miami arena, that the Fred Florida legislation, that they are now going after them because they want to figure out now, you got to pay for this, and so on. And so, I'm not sure how they materialize in the Bahamas, if actual cash or currencies was exchanged for land and so on. But I suspect, though, they had the money, but, they went overboard and spent more than they had, which caused the whole house to fall down. Let me help you out. There are different regulations. When you have different exchanges, like they have some currencies that are traded in Europe that are not traded in the US, and so on. So I don't think you could say that they were, paint a picture they were doing something wrong. They weren't doing anything wrong. It's just that their management skills, their spending was more than they had.
So Cassius, all this big kerfuffle. Yeah. And this major disappointment that so many, listen, I don't know if you guys see.
It's at the management.
You are laying it at the feet of mismanagement?
Yes, because you've seen it time and time again. Remember when we had the housing bubble, when we had the insurance companies that flopped. What the insurance company did was they were taking a lot of the money and excess money, and they were invested in the housing projects all over the world. And then what happened is that when the US market crashed, nobody buying the home, so all the money they invested gone to waste. Basically similar processes. And so whether we come with regulations, see, the thing about regulations when you come into crypto space and cryptocurrency is that you have a direct fight between the existing banking sector and the crypto space. When you're sending money through Bitcoins, I could send money from you, Shanique Street to Cassius, without an intermediary. In the traditional space, the intermediary got to get a share. So the cryptocurrency circumvent that. And so right now you have a war between the existing banking sector and this new crypto digital space.
So then let's examine that then. Is it that the traditional institutions are behind somehow trying to destroy the crypto space?
Well, they don't want it because, of course, you're taking my bread and butter. Because when you have what they call them, the SWIFT, right? When I send monies away to India, China, you have to have an intermediary bank. That bank gets his share, and then he sends it on. This is a $1 trillion industry. So now you have this new technology coming out that circumvents the entire space. And so this is why they've been having a lot of issues with the federal government. This is why they're having issues with regulation, because they don't want to be regulated. And do they regulate them? Because they circumvent these central banks. I take my money and I buy stocks in a particular company. They take that money that I give them for their stocks. They said, okay, I have 10 shares in this business. They take their money and spend it however they feel like it. But if the stocks now, if I can't trade it back, but sometimes you pay $100 for stock, next thing you know, the stock only worth 5 cents because, of course, mismanagement on the end, on the part of the management system. But you see, you cannot say that they were stealing per se, is because you have to lay it to the fact that this is not new, because we do it in stocks, we do it in trading all the time. Because if I now take $1,000,
stealing is not new. I agree.
No. I mean, but think about
Regardless
it,
of how it
right?
shows
Think
up
about
on
it.
package.
If somebody's investing in your Elutra business, right? This Elutra business you got, and they give you $1,000 and you give them 10% shares. You take that money and you spend that money on yourself, or you put some money back into the company. When it's time to cash that money back in, you ain't get no liquid cash because you already spent the money. You see? And so that is what they find.
That's where the poor management comes in.
But also too, you have sometimes in business, people reinvest money to make more money.
Yes.
But in the poor management comes that we spend the money that we're supposed to reinvest to make more money. So we can get beaten that badly because I think it's a new space, and I think we are now conforming our laws to be able to accommodate it. I think it's a learning opportunity for us moving forward, that these are some of the things that we expect. But I don't think though internationally we'll get beaten because we overlook. I don't think so.
Because it's already being discussed on in the different forums when it comes to regulation.
But we weren't responsible for his mistakes.
But no, we weren't. But we took on
exactly.
We took on
we
them.
We approved this company to be in the Bahamas, and so then they are wondering now what's the regulation of the Bahamas.
This company also operates in Florida, operates around the world.
But we're talking about
they don't operate in the Bahamas in isolation.
No,
so don't make it look like we can get beaten by a friend.
The Bahamas is beaten many times with things the United States is not beaten with.
But they need me to defend them.
Yeah, the Bahamas when we talk about the different dark color lists that we put on, this is one of the reasons we put on all of these lists. Dark and black and gray. It's because of our monitoring.
Peggy, I don't think so. I don't think so. And not in this regard.
No, I think it would. I think, and it's early, but I think if you're looking at KYC, did they do it properly? Did they check out why this person came here? Did they ask those questions? Did they get that information?
It was a European regulations. There were all European KYC and all those European regulations that they jammed down our throat.
No, they ain't jammed. It is to protect the investor.
I mean,
this is the come on,
Peggy. That's what they tell you.
This is what. Yeah,
that's what they tell you.
You're right.
Scams. We had the gold. The people come on here selling gold, right? And so I tell my wife, don't fool with that. She gonna fool with that now. I can't get my money back from the gold.
Yeah,
right?
but
so all that gold we buy, we waste the money, right?
Yes, how much gold does she purchase?
I can't tell you, right? I can tell you. And then somebody else.
But I'll tell you this, Cassius, gold is no scam. If you own gold.
Listen, if you see the little
whatever that situation that you had there about buying gold, that was a total scam.
That part.
Because all my money gone, right? Then they had the next one come and say, oh, the travel agency, you can get free travel. I said, no, I ain't fooling with that one.
Yeah,
then somebody nagged me for another one. I said, listen, I don't bother with these things. Only because it's you, I can put up a couple dollars.
And what happened?
1 week later, the whole thing crashed. 1 week later, all my money gone. So don't ever come to me ever again with no scam. I ain't into that.
No,
can I sell you on some health and wellness?
No, I ain't interested.
But that is.
Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow our TikTok account. Thanks.